So we're here with Jason Olain, who is the manager, is it? Or
Vice President of Programming.
Excuse me, dude, you're the VP of Programming. All right. I'm so sorry, that was so rude of me.
No, not at all. I mean, as long as, I'm talking with you, I'm happy. I don't really need a job title. But yeah, my job here at Jazz Lincoln Center is to oversee the programming. I work closely with Wynton Marsalis. He's my boss.
Yeah.
And we have a small programming team. And we program Dizzy's, our jazz club, and Rose Theater, and the Appel Room. Those are our rooms that we have here at Jazz Lincoln Center.
And they're all so magnificent. I was
Thank you.
just actually telling somebody that, and I hate to say this, but I think Dizzy's is the only club that I would feel comfortable going to right now. Just because the mask mandates have come down.
Yes.
So tell me the whole journey that's happened since the pandemic started and the reopening and stuff like that.
Well, like everybody else, we were shut down, going back to spring of 2020.
Right.
And so all of our concerts that we had were canceled.
Yeah.
And many of which didn't get rescheduled. So some of those shows never came back. Right. Some got pushed into the future, and then some just went away.
Yeah.
Dizzy's was the first place for us to open. Okay. That was our jazz club. We opened up 4 days a week.
Okay.
That was in August of 21.
Okay.
And now we're back up here. We are in April, and we're at 7 days a week.
Oh, wonderful.
And crowds are coming back. So it's been a gradual kind of building back.
Yeah.
We still haven't seen the same amount of tourism yet, internationally.
Yeah.
Jazz Lincoln Center is a destination
Yeah.
for a lot of, international and domestic travelers, but not everybody's coming back to New York quite yet. So we're looking forward to, as we kind of get more and more comfortable with traveling and people are coming back to New York, we look to see our business continue to grow and bring more people into the House of Swing.
The House of Swing.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things that I noticed when we were talking to some of the other club owners is that they feel that even without the tourists coming in, it's almost like New York as a force. Mm-hmm. The people of New York and those who are, of course, traveling domestically into New York, they felt really this sense of ownership that jazz is here in New York, and we've got to go and support the clubs. Did you get the sense?
Absolutely, and the people that have been coming are so enthusiastic. It's like the real diehard jazz fans. You could hear a pin drop. People are just listening, but they're also super enthusiastic. Yeah. So they're so happy to be back. The musicians are so happy to be back on stage, playing for real people, not just in their homes on Zoom or live from home concerts. It's in front of real people, and they have that kind of back and forth energy that is exchanged that only live music can bring. So we've been seeing that the crowds are coming back, and the crowds that are coming, even if they keep their masks on during the shows, that there's just this renewed enthusiasm for live music and for jazz that is so great for us as presenters.
Wow.
We want to see this music brought to the people, and we want to see the musicians back to work.
Yeah.
And so everybody needs it in their lives, and we're happy to be a part of it.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things I have to mention is that my son, who's now in college, he actually attended the jazz for the younger set, that you guys did on Sundays.
Yep.
He really grew from that program, and for which I'm incredibly grateful. And the other thing I have to mention is that he swore that Dizzy's had the best hamburger.
It's a pretty good burger, absolutely. I also say the gumbo's pretty good too, so that's one of my favorite dishes too. But yeah, my kids also went through the Weebop, which is for little kids and their caregivers or their parents to introduce them to jazz. And it's such a great way to start by having live music in a young person's life.
Yeah.
And so glad that it was great for your son, and also great for my kids too.
Yeah, all to say that I just feel that Jazz at Lincoln Center has always been at the forefront of helping to educate the young ones, the next generation of those growing. I'm just curious what the next steps for all that you guys are doing is.
Well, our mission at Jazz Lincoln Center is to grow the audience for jazz globally through performance and education and advocacy. So that's supporting other organizations and scholars and journalists and radio and sister organizations like SF Jazz or jazz clubs around town. So whatever we can do to help other people grow their audiences and for us to not only educate future musicians but future audiences. So we want to kind of cultivate the whole, like just make the pie bigger of the appreciation for jazz.
Yay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time.
Great. It's my pleasure. It's so good to see you again in real life.
I know.